He was handsome, he was funny, hard worker, fairly ambitious in as much as we did live in Africa and the Middle East. There's the irony of it that we stay in a safe place like the UK, and that's where Eric gets killed.
Eric Sullivan was a paint inspector working on a gantry underneath the Severn Bridge with 2 other men in September 1990. The gantry, weighing 40 tonnes, broke away and fell into the river. One of the team survived, but Eric and his colleague Robin Phelps died.
I phoned his office. I said, "Is Eric there?" He took a big deep breath. He said, "Is that his wife?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "He's not accounted for." That was the exact words, "He's not accounted for." But after 3 days, he was actually found in the salmon butchers. A fisherman found him.
Today, Eric and Robin's families were joined by those of John Short and Kevin Hoskins, who died in separate accidents during the bridge strengthening works. Their names now immortalised on a plaque near to where they lost their lives. Kevin Hoskins, who was from Patchway, was a father of 7 children. He died after falling from a platform on one of the towers. He was just 34.
To lose your life at such a young age is tragic, for, in whatever circumstances. But for us, just to have that acknowledgement that it did matter and people do care, the story needs to be told.
The plaque was the brainchild of Peter Neal, the inspection manager during the strengthening works.
In all my working life, I've used the experience of this gantry failure in briefings and safety briefings around the country, well, around the world actually. But it stays there, it stays in the back of your memory, and it's difficult to shred. But today, because I know it's happening, I think I feel much better.
No one was ever held officially responsible for the failings that led to the gantry collapse. And 30 years on, Maggie is still worried about what safety measures are in place for those working in construction.
It's good that people can see that, construction is a dangerous game. And if lessons can be learned, I hope they are learned, but whether they have been, I don't know.
The new plaque is next to one remembering 6 men who died during the construction of the bridge in the 1960s, a sobering reminder of their sacrifice for this major engineering project, and tied up today with hopes that such accidents will never happen again. Steve Knibbs, BBC Points West, on the Severn Bridge.
Well, just after today's ceremony, I spoke to Andrew Page-Dove, the South West Regional Director for National Highways, and began by asking what lessons had been learnt from these deaths.
First and foremost, can I just offer my condolences to the families for the loss of their loved ones. We would never want or expect or hope that anybody loses their life in vain. Indeed, we never want anybody to lose their life. In terms of what we've learnt a lot over the last 30 years, but actually we can clearly demonstrate what we've learned. So there have been no similar accidents over the last 30 years. And that's because we've really focused in on the things that went wrong, and we've put things in place like automation. So we've got automatic systems that prevent the platforms that they use under the bridge to inspect and to carry out work from actually coming off the tracks that it's on. And those things help the drivers. So 30 years ago, they didn't have those systems. Today, they have safe systems at work.
So how much maintenance do these bridges actually need then?
It's a full-time job. Maintenance on these bridges is a daily occurrence, 365 days a year. So whether it's the cables that hold the main part of the bridge, whether it's the actual bridge deck, the surface itself, all of these things are constantly moving in the wind and with the traffic going over them. So it's a daily job.
And technology-wise, what does the future hold? Will people always have to be doing these jobs?
No, absolutely. I think this is really one of the things that we're really keen on as National Highways. Safety is so important to us, and actually removing humans from those high-risk environments is something that we're really keen to do. So I can clearly see in the not too distant future the use of drones as an example. Indeed, we're using them somewhere elsewhere in the UK to demonstrate their capabilities for undertaking inspections. Of course, drones can't do some of the work, so if work needs to be done, then actually the future is probably more around robots and therefore limiting, I guess, just the exposure that any human would have to go through.
Andrew Page-Dove, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.